Yeah, there we go. I think we're recording. How you doing, folks? Norm here. Not the Norm. Come to you today is it's 24th, actually, 24th of June 2021. I'm down here today just walking my dog. Actually, he's out here somewhere. Not sure where it is, but not too far away. I've just come back from the Nelson Court, actually. I was down there because I heard Liz Lambert say on Counterspin that she was going to be down there today because the new freeland, something to do with new freeland, was coming up today at the court. So I went down there to have a look, and I asked the guy behind the counter. He didn't know anything about it, and I went upstairs and had a look at the register there, and to see the menu, if you like, schedule, and there was no names up there I recognised, so I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, we're in a situation where our ruler has put Wellington into level 2. I'm not actually sure what even level 2 entails. Actually, I'm not too sure about that, but that's the situation here. So I think, you know, with a few simple questions, we can really dissolve the narrative coming out of the government. Doesn't really take a lot. Just looking for my dog. There he is. So the narrative. Oh yeah, the narrative coming out of the government doesn't take. And you know, this whole C-19 bullshit. They're about to next month, I think, from July onwards, they want to start rolling out vaccines to your kids. Now, I don't know about you, but seriously, folks, I mean, if it's getting to the stage where they're going to be targeting your kids at school, then we do seriously have some issues on our hands. Now, there's lots of talk about the low-deal process that Liz Lambert and Calvin Alp are putting out there. All good stuff. All good stuff. Get on board with it, find out about it, school yourselves up, see if you can figure out what's going on with all of that. And actually, I might turn this round. Actually, better than looking at me mug. Where are we here? No. Where are we? Oh, I can't turn that round now for some reason. Where is it? It's better. No, I can't turn that round. Sorry guys, you can just look at me mug. But anyway, oh, there you go, some little dogs over there. Hopefully you can see that. Or maybe I'll just turn it around like that for you. But anyway, see, I forgot where I was again there. Just the general narratives come out of governments. It's just it's all propaganda and lies, and as I say, it's starting to fall apart at the seams. There's some really good people getting on board there. I think it was it Christine Austin Fitz just come out with another video, a little doco called Lockdown Planet, was it? I think it might have been Lockdown Planet. It's on Rumble anyway. I advise you to have a look at that. It does give us lots of hope, because we do have a window of opportunity, and the more the government tries to close that window, the more people it wakes up, of course, and that's happening exponentially. We know the media's been bought. We know their government's owned by all sorts of factions, be it the CCP, Communist Chinese Party. And I'm not racist in any way, folks. I love people. I don't give a shit what colour they are, what nationality they are, you know. We're all blood, mate. We all come from the same source, ultimately. Anyway. So yeah, and we've got the government being owned by outside factions, and the modus operandi is sort of divide and conquer, and we see this being played out globally. You know, all sorts of genders against each other, divided us by gender. I mean, this is ridiculous, this stuff, especially this, I mean, some guy who's now identifies as a friggin' female is allowed to go to the Ladies Olympics and perform in the Olympics. I mean, this is how absurd it is, folks. I mean, it's an insult to our intelligence, folks, seriously. I mean, you know, where does it stop? Where does it end? It ends with us, and it stops with us. That's where it ends, and that's where it stops. Because ultimately, through us continually participating in this system, makes us ultimately culpable. Because we have the power, you know. Like all those people that go out and do have faith in the democratic system and the electoral process and that, you know, they'll go out there voting for a better system and a better way. That's all they really want. That's all we all really want, ultimately. We'll just let's have a view here. Beautiful day here in Nelson. Well, nice and warm now anyway. And so that's what most people want. We just want a fair democratic system. Something that is representative of the people. And the only way we're going to get that, folks, is from the bottom up. Instead of all the centralisation of power and all being funneled up to one or two at the top who are then corrupt as and surround themselves by the corrupted. I mean, if you honestly think that Jacinda Ardern's running the country, folks, you're dreaming. You're absolutely mad. These people are owned. They're compromised and owned, folks. They're never going to represent you. They're never going to do what the people want. In fact, you know, she's openly stated how we're one of the countries furthest down the road to implementing all the UN Agenda 21s and Agenda 30s, and it all sounds lovely on top of it, folks, but you dig a little bit deeper underneath that cosmetic layer and you'll find that there's a lot of ugly stuff under there, all disguised in all those words. You know, those words, how they dupe us, just changing the rules and the words and the definitions thereof, all the spelling, making it all duplicit, doublespeak, narrative, propaganda, whatever you want to call it. That's what they do, and that's what they're doing. But as I say, ultimately it's us. Ultimately it's us who keep participating in the system, and so it's us that can stop it. How do we do that? We take our power back, folks. You know, money is one of the biggest tools that controls the system. And they own all that. They can just print it. You know, they just print it. They just print it and, you know, seriously, they own all that. They can just print as much as they want. They can print as much as they want, folks. So they can pay all the taxes. They can pay all your mortgages. And we'd be debt free. But this is it. You know, it's mind control. And it's hypnotism and mind control. I shall turn this around there because it's beautiful here. You can hear the birds. But yeah, we're all in a state of hypnotism and mind control, and people starting to wake up from that, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. It's unstoppable. And you know, the time is now, folks. Your window of opportunity is closing, but you've got the power. Ultimately, the power lies in your hands. And through the money system, the monetary system, and the energy that you give it. Once you start starving the system of its oxygen and energy and monetary controls, once you start doing that, then they have no power. We outnumber them. We are the 99%, folks. You know, we outnumber them 99 to 1. They can't police these lockdowns. They can't police forced vaccinations. So they're trying to foister it onto your kids. They're trying to foister vaccinations onto your kids through the schools. Are you serious? George Orwell would love it, eh? The thought police. Because they're coming. They've openly stated it. And that's what they're doing. All by design. And again, you know, if I use all sorts of, well, it's not even flowery language once you start delving into it. I mean, once you go and, you know, have a look and actually read some of the documents that they put out and some of the goals that they have. It's all flowered under sustainability and, you know, saving the environment, and it's all disguised under that lovely flowery language. But you know, ultimately they're telling us what they're doing, and they want total control, and they'll do it until we take away their power, until we take away the oxygen that they use to breathe, folks. And we can do that. We can do that very easily. First of all, you withdraw all your money out of the banks. You put it into real commodities, whether it be silver or gold. You know, people say, oh, you can't eat that, you can't eat that. No, you can't eat that. So get your gardens and that, rightly so. You know, this is for people with residual incomes, man. You need to be putting that into something, because they're about to, once they crash this monetary system, which is not far away. I mean, we're already 20 years over past a new monetary system. They usually reset every 70 odd years or 60 odd years, whatever it is. So we're well overdue for that. So we know that's coming. You know, that's what they've got on the agenda. And so the monetary system's going to collapse anyway. And of course they're trying to introduce a new monetary system through their centralised banking crypto systems. Now, I'm not sure what your views are on crypto, and I've looked into a little bit, but as far as my understanding is, the blockchains outside, those decentralised blockchains are outside of their purview. It's out of their control. It's out of their control at the moment. I think it's a can of worms that's opened on them, and I don't think they can put it back in the can, so to speak. So whatever your view is, it still gives us a platform to be able to exchange outside the banking systems. So I would advise you to start doing and thinking about that for a start, because we need to dissolve the oxygen of these banks, and that's the money. So we need to start converting our money, withdrawing it from the system ourselves before they do, because they've been doing that for a while now, withdrawing the money from the system. Boom and bust. It's the boom and bust, you know. That's how they roll. Dog over there. They pump the system full of all their inflationary paper dollars. Everyone's thinking, yay, times are good, so they expand their businesses, they get loans, take on employees, and then they contract the money system. They all of a sudden turn around and say, oh no, you've got to have 20% of the deposit to get a house now. Straight away cutting out new homeowners and young people, young hard-working people trying to get ahead in life and get their own property. They don't want you having property, people. You will own nothing and you will be happy about it. You'll have no say in anything, you will own nothing and you'll be happy about it. But not only that, you'll be vaccinated every year. Every year there'll be a new COVID or a new bug, a new imaginary bug. Mr. Global. That's what I think Christine called them. Called the elite or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. I mean, it's so intertwined and meshed and networked into the system. We know what it is. It doesn't matter what name you call it, the cabal, the elite, the 1%. You know, it doesn't matter. We know where they work. We know where they operate. We know the mechanisms they operate through. They operate through government. They operate through councils. All these are factions of the network, as Karen Brewer would say, the network of filth. Whether it be the monetary filth, the corrupt filth, the bribery and the compromise that goes on in that cesspit of filth of dog eat dog. No friends amongst thieves, folks, and they're all thieves. So we've got a lot of division going on in this country, and that's by design. They're trying to divide and conquer us, folks. Let's not fall for that. We can't fall for that shit. We're bigger than that. We're way bigger than that. We can't stoop to their levels. And United, they know this too. United, we are unstoppable. You know, we've got to really start taking the power back, and part of that process is getting your money out of the banking systems. Getting your money and start putting it into commodities and things you can use. You know, we can't continue to live in a system where there's billionaires being able to control countries, politicians. They're all compromised, folks. Big bags of money can do all sorts of things to a person's morals. You know, they're corruptible and they're corrupted. And they're at our mercy as such, because we as long as we keep participating in their system, then we keep giving it the energy that it needs to continue doing to us. Like with all our taxes and everything, folks. All your taxes, all your rates, all your liabilities, all your loans, all that sort of shit, that's reinforcing the system. That is you know, it's a cycle of creating your own slavery, creating your own control system, and that's all it is. It's a circular control system, folks, and we need to step outside of it. And we do that by taking our power back. We get back into our communities, we start our community gardens, your own gardens, community gardens. We become free of their systems. They've got us so addicted to all their mechanisms, all the avenues of machinery, and soon it's going to be no jab, no job, no jab, no travel, no jab, no going to the supermarket. This is coming. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it, folks, it's coming. That's what they want. They've told us. Total control. You won't be able to own automobiles eventually. That's private property. You won't be able to own any of that. So we've really got to pick up the ball. You know, we're a rugby sporty nation. We like playing with our balls, don't we, as a nation? Best we pick them up. Because yeah, we've got work to do. We've got to raise our voices, folks. Raise your voices up. Get up off your seats. You know, and start really getting active. Start getting active with your community. These groups that are the Stand in the Park groups, the Freedom Factory, Adam Nuttall, you know, the stuff that these people are doing, Damien DeMint, even Lee Williams, you know, bringing attention to issues that need to be brought from both ends of the spectrum, all ends of the spectrum. If we can't sit around and discuss things over a table, mate, then we're still just little kiddies. And we're better than that. We're way better than that. We're bigger than that and we're better than that. And we will overcome and we will win. But it's going to take a few years to stand up. Raise your voices, take positions of, you know, if you've got any moral integrity, voice it. If you know some truths that are being foisted upon your brothers and sisters out there, then voice it. You know, you've got to be invoiced. We need to start invoicing them. And then they can pay. You see how that works? That's how that works. That's how commerce works, folks. Commerce and communication. Common unity. That's how that works. That's how that works. And we do that via communication, through speaking, through talking, through sitting around and airing our views and our perspectives from positions of heart, first and foremost, for the better good, for the greater good, but never losing sight of the strongest minority out there, and that's the minority of the individual. So we need to really not be buying into the discrimination and the divide and conquer that's trying to be foisted upon us. Okay, so we're bigger than that. And so back to dissolving the system and taking away its oxygen, you know, we have that power. We have that power by getting together. And once we get together, folks, and start talking with each other, we'll find we're not much different. Honestly, we're not much different. We're not much different than the next guy. Not much different at all. Wait a minute, I've lost the dog. Can't bloody whistle. So, let's go over there. So that's what we're up to. That's what we're about. We're about getting together. We're about unifying, and we're about pulling our resources together. Because once we start pulling together as communities and whānau and brothers and sisters, all in pursuit of making a better world for our children, and goodness knows we all want that. We all want a better world for our children. That's what we all want. So that's what we're about, and that's what we're going to make, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a better world for our children, and the world and Papatūānuku in and of itself. Actually, I'm standing right out here in the middle of a rugby paddock. Look at the state of the ground. Yeah, unreal. Anyway, I mean, if only we could put as much energy into our sports on the weekends as you know, coordinating our own communities and our own directions, and taking charge of our own walkers, taking our power back. That's what it's about, man. Instead of being directed to and having no mercy at the wind, hoisting our sails and coordinating, becoming good navigators of our ships. That's all we want. Become good navigators of our ships. Here's my little dog. He got a bit lost on me. Good boy, come on. So yeah, so that's what we got to deal with, and we can, and we will deal with it by coming together. So start getting involved, start, you know, thinking about how you're going to start breaking the addictions you have to the system and to government, because they're owned by outside factions, folks, and you're never going to get any justice in the courts because they own that. The politicians own the courts, the jurisdiction. The justice system, there's no justice in that system, folks. You've got to stop trying to think you're going to get any justice from it. We need a few more people standing up and exposing that from within the system. We need a few more whistleblowers. It'd be nice to see a few of these whistleblowers, you know, these so-called good cops and good judges and good lawyers and good politicians. It'd be really good to see some of them whistleblowing and standing up, because now's the time to do it. Because by goodness, soon you're not going to have that opportunity, and it's going to be gone. I don't think it will. I think enough people are starting to wake up now. You're starting to, you know, you're starting to see what's going on. People are starting to see the net that's being closed upon them. The net working and how it's working. It's being exposed. And this is the other thing too, folks. You know, all your interactions with any agencies, anyone of the government, get your phone out and film it, folks. Go live or just film it. Just do what I'm doing now. Just get it recorded. Just get it recorded. And that way you've got the witness to it. Again, that's some of the power you can have back. You know, we've really got to start paying. Stop paying for the system. Stop giving it its life. We've got to take away the breath of the system, and that's mainly through the monetary aspects of it. It's also through, you know, through the media. Of course, we know they own the media. Those people might be seeing this later on. Overseas, our government went and paid the media $175 million to toe the line. So you're not going to get any fact or truth out of the media. I mean, the only reason, if you watch TV at all, not that I do, is just to keep an eye out on what the government's doing. But if you're on any sorts of these social media pages, you'll kind of have a fair idea. And here's another thing too, folks. The people that frequent pages like mine and other pages of that ilk, if you like, with regard to news and all that sort of stuff, we're kind of preaching to the choir. A little bit and a lot. We've got to kind of stop doing that. We've got to kind of, instead of facing internally and speaking our truths, we've got to turn around and start, you know, getting a bit more vocal to those groups that aren't in the know. And again, you know, if we can present our facts and our information in a really nice way, in a really the kindest way possible, with compassion and understanding, knowing that a lot of these people are enamoured to the system, like they said in the Matrix. A lot of these people don't want to be unplugged. Oh, I don't know, it's happening, it's inevitable at the moment. The unplugging's happening. That's good, so we can all get charged up. We're all charged up now, so we can start uniting and getting on with the job that needs to be done, cleaning up our country and cleaning up the political system. Well, we can't actually clean it up. We need to start our own, folks. This is again half the problem. We're running around trying to rebuild the system, and we can't. That system's corrupt by its nature, and through its very design and its modus operandi, as we know, because most of these authoritarian systems were set up by the elite and have been for a very long time. It's just what's been going on. Waiting for me little doglet. So it's a beautiful day down here in Nelsonstoke. I'm just having a wander around the park. Remember in the last lockdown that we had, Jacinda was saying, go out for a walk. You're allowed to go out for a walk. You're allowed to go out for a walk, folks. I mean, how dystopian is that? But anyway, so she said we could go out for a walk, and so people were putting teddy bears in their windows to make it a little bit more, to try and pick up everybody's level of stupor. And you couldn't make this shit up. Seriously, folks. I mean, they're coming into the schools and going to start vaccinating your kids. They're coming into the schools and vaccinating your kids with an experimental, it's not even a vaccine, it's a serum, actually. It's not even a vaccine, as some of you rightly point out. And, others are saying, within 2 to 3 years, most of those people will be dead. There seems to be industries already preparing for it, from what I've heard and seen. So pretty exciting times. There's lots going on. Don't be bamboozled by it all. Just keep raising your voices and speaking your truth. The more networking you're doing, the stronger we become, and the more we realise and come to comprehend and understand that we're no different. We all want the same things. We just want to be left alone, live in peace. We want to be free from poisons. We want to be free from politicians and levies and fees and permits and registrations and licenses and all these control mechanisms. Part of the system. You've got to stop participating in those systems, folks. You've got to stop participating in them. And we can do it. We can do it en masse, and we're going to do it. These allodial titles, people are already putting them in now. Liz has put the letter out up on Counterspin and that, and so you can go there and get that. But it'd be good if we could do this in a concerted effort. I mean, again, they can pick us off one by one when we do this individually. We've got to do it in mass, and if we can do this in mass, of course you have that. It's like using one finger to move a stone instead of all 5 fingers. It's the same concept. It's pretty simple stuff to comprehend and understand. So if we can start doing this united, together united, then there's just we're going to have no problems. I'm just trying to work out how to spin this around. I've actually got this on record. I'm not doing it live at the moment. But anyway. So yeah, once we become united and we do this in a united front, mate, there's nothing they can do about it. We've got to start giving notice to the individuals who are operating behind the capacities as agents. They're agents. They're an agency. We've got to start uniting our fronts. Standing up and uniting our fronts together. Because, we're unstoppable. And even at the lower end of the scale, there's more of us than them. There's more of us than the elite, folks. That gives us power straight away. And they're operating under mass mind control of the population through the media and the narrative and the propaganda that they're spewing out to you. And once we get together and start asking a few simple basic questions about things, we can soon, dispel those narratives and that propaganda, because it's full of holes, and they know it, and it's falling apart quicker than they can hold it together. It's like the fingers in the dike. There's too many holes in the dam now, and it's starting to overflow, and that's good. So this is our opportunity, and that gives us great hope. There's other things we can be doing, and that's uniting our power financially, pooling your money together. Start looking into cryptocurrencies, folks. Seriously, because once they collapse the fiat money system, and that's not to say we don't need some kind of monetary system outside of their purview. So if we can go back to the what real money is, which is silver and gold, if we can go back to those, then and still be able to have the digital currencies as well on decentralized blockchains outside the centralized system, then that's a win-win-win. That's a win-win. We have the beauty of both worlds. We have the beauty of two worlds then. That's how that works. Look at that, masters of our ships. Good on yous. So yeah, so that's how that works. And we've got to take control of that monetary system. See, even the paradise geese know. They know what's going on. They don't need money. They don't operate on money. How's that work? They got no government. How's that work? Eh? They got no fucking politicians and lawyers and bankers and pharmacologists. You know, wizards, sorcerers, casting spells. Through their newscasters who anchor it. That's how all that works. That's how that works, folks. So yeah, so there's you know, there's things we can be doing and you can be doing. I mean, seriously, folks, you know, talking to people and sharing truth and information in these times is literally saving lives, saving children's lives. That's how much power you have to withdraw your consent to a system that is attacking your children. It's now attacking your children. I guess they think they've dumbed down the population enough that they're no threat, and now they're attacking the kids. So that's how serious this stuff's got. I don't want this thing to go on too long. 32 minutes, oh yeah. I've walked around the park 3 times, but that's alright, it's all good. Dog's getting a good run today. So so we need to get united, you know, start, even if it involves, like, getting involved with your churches, folks, because they're another community, okay? I know, you know, my feelings about religious views. You know my religious views, or my views on religion, I should say, but you know, ultimately there's good people in there, and you know, they're just looking for somewhere for some hope as well, as we all are. We all need hope, and that involves a little bit of faith, but faith and hope without investigation and you know, that investigation is dangerous stuff. Just think about that. You know, so yeah, start getting united, folks. Start getting together. Start talking about what's going on. Start communicating with the people around you, and get yourselves involved in groups, because they're just going to lock us down again, folks. They're just going to lock us down. They're just going to crash the money system. They're just going to close off your avenues for fuel, your finances, and then you're not going to have any opportunity at all. And then the window's closed, and then it gets dark for a long time for a lot of people. So we can't let that happen. We're not going to let that happen. And there's enough of us to expose this and overthrow it, and hold those accountable for what it is they're doing. Not only those who are the minions of this evil system and this evil agenda, but the people in behind them, the organisations in behind them, the factions in behind them, the sponsors. Follow the money, and we'll soon find out who's doing what. We know. I mean, the evidence is incontrovertible. The evidence is incontrovertible, folks. We know who they are. We know that they hold positions of power and authority within that system, within that network. And we know that they're the ones that are selected for us to elect in the so-called democratic system, folks. I mean, it's a rigged game. It's rigged. The dice are stacked, mate. The table's tilted. The deck's dodgy. Whatever way you want to put it. We've been sold lemons, folks. We know it. And it's time to make a stand and get yourselves united and start using your voices and speaking up, because the window, as I say, an opportunity to do those things is closing. And we need you all to stand together, be united as one, have faith in yourselves, stand up for your truth, because ultimately our truths are all the same. Our core truths are all the same. We all just want to live in peace and be left alone and not see our brothers having to be on the brink of survival in any way, shape or form. I mean, we need a major overhaul, and we are. We're standing on the verge of a huge paradigm shift. It's an absolutely massive paradigm shift we stand on the edges of, at the beginnings of, and we need to take control of it and steer the direction of that. And we can and we will, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful thing once we realise it, imagine it, and then manifest it. That's how it works, folks. There's some beautiful people doing some beautiful things out there, and those people outnumber the ones doing the ugly shit. Okay? Unfortunately, we're in the misconception that we don't have any power. We got all the power. We got all the power, folks. All the power. All the ability, all the knowledge, all the understanding, and all the love. And that's all we need. So keep your hearts full of love. Keep spreading the good vibes. Speaking truth and harmony. And we win. So I might leave it there for you today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the other side. And it's pretty bright too. See you later.